Alright, so today I'm gonna be doing a different video from previous ones. I'm gonna tell you guys how to use Boom API to actually enhance your performance in game. There are actually a couple of ways to do that. First off, I'd like you to know how to search your profile. Boom API is a website where you have full data on your performance and your other players from the world. So what you want to do is enter your game, click settings button, and see this account ID. This is ID exclusive for your account, and with that you can access your actual data in Boom API. So in my case, it's 183076. You can check yours for yourself. So I'm gonna just go now to Boom API, then type a player and type this exact ID 076. There you go. And after querying the question, I'm gonna get the answer of my profile in Boom Arena. So, as you can see, I have a couple of medals, some games has been registered, I have some wins, some losses, I even got a draw at some point, and down below you can see what decks are you playing. And with this decks you have pretty much same data as with the overall games. You can see how much you've used it and how many wins or losses you've got. Usually, if you want to pay attention to win rate, because it is the most important data from them all. If you have like the deck you've played a couple times, for instance, I've played with this General Drunker 38 times already, and I have 92% win rate, it means I'm scoring well with that deck. There are also decks I've played a couple of times and I have pretty decent win rates as well, but you usually want to pay attention to the decks with which you have like at least 50 games played. So actually for me to say whether I'm good with General or not, I'd have to play 12 more games, but like 50 is a rough estimation, which means like you've played some games and now we can evaluate your total performance. So this recent games tab can be sometimes useful. I'm gonna tell you about that later on, but for now let's jump to some more interesting categories. So for instance, you can go to card selection and you can select any card of your choice. For instance, I'm gonna pick skeletons like this, and you see there are their usage of total, like how many times are they played in the deck, any deck, and how often is this in overall, what's their win rate and what's their lose rate. And yeah, you can do it for both ladder and top ladder, which I'm explaining right now. Top ladder means that the player from top 50 was involved in the game. So actually, if you want to enhance your performance in terms of cards, I suggest to press ladder, because it generates more retrospective from what every player thinks of a card. And with decks, you actually want to pay attention to top ladder decks, because those are best scoring decks in the game. So we'll move into that. We'll check top decks and we'll for now check the ladder decks, which are as follows. Those are like the most popular decks in the entire game. So if you want, you can just copy one of those and try it for yourself. Like most of these have mediocre win rates, because if the deck is used by a lot of players, there are both good and bad players using this deck, and that's what leads me to the next section, I'm gonna search top ladder decks, query again, and those are decks used mainly by top players. So like you see in previous section the decks were having like 46 win rate, 31%, they're 68, but like 50, 56, 55. I mean, most decks will get the win rate around 50%, and then you switch into top ladder, and their win rates are I picked the wrong one. Their win rates are like around 90% actually. Sometimes below that, but like usually it's like hovering around 85 to 90% win rate, because like those are decks that one, good players play with, and two, those are decks that are actually good and provide you like some actual value. So if you want to find good decks, check top ladder decks. If you want to find some interesting decks to play, you can always just check on normal ladder, like 2.6 Super Ape is always relevant, even though it has 46% win rate. You can sort by win rate, but for now it's pretty much broken, because like there can be decks that were played like you see only 9 times, and winning 9 times out of 9 isn't that hard of the deal. Like for instance, winning 200 matches in a row. Like if you're, as I said before, if you're playing with a deck and your usage rate is like below 50 games, it is not a good estimate of the win rate of the deck. You just might get lucky in the first couple of matches. So I'd recommend playing 50 games to estimate whether you're good with deck or not. Okay, so the next one is player search, and by player search you can actually search any player of your choice. So for instance, like let's see, we have the leaderboards, and yeah, this is also the leaderboards of the players. It's updated live, so if someone wins right here, I'm gonna refresh, it will get refreshed, like someone will get their trophy updated. So I'm gonna like check the max profile, and for instance, as I'm seeing from him, he's actually playing only one deck, which is this Brute Mother Devil Poison. The rest is pretty much unplayed, and he's playing it with 90% accuracy. So it is not bad idea actually to reach out for him and ask for coaching in this deck, because he is pretty dominant with that. From player search point, you can actually search him like that. You like type max and query it, and it might appear here, but it appears like it is not the case here, because many more maxes played before him. It is, sometimes you can find him here, sometimes not, but like if you, for example, type Aizen, which is also one of the top players, you will find him, because like max is way more commodized. For instance, this is his profile. He's playing mostly Cemetery, like this deck, and before it was this deck. He's actually pretty good right now. Alright, so how to use it to your advantage. So let's say you are building a deck and you want to see whether the card is good in meta or not. So you are just typing a card, and you can select this card. For example, you wonder whether lightning is good or not. You query it, and you see in ladder it has 50% win rate, which is pretty nice. It has 3% usage rate, which is below average, but it might work for you because, for example, you want to use it as a surprise card. And you can also check it for high ladder, how best players score with that. And here you have it. I said like win rate should be between 85 and 90% for it to be valuable, and it is. So you can actually incorporate lightning to your deck. It's not that a bad card. So another thing, you can always like search decks and incorporate for them. As I said, you can reach out to the players that play these decks and like ask for coaching. Most of them are open to that. I've used it as well. Max, for example, is very good coach. of the deck. I've taught some players of my general decks. Sky's the limit, guys. And of course you can analyze the specific game. This is actually pretty broken feature from now, but let's say you wanna like enter my profile and those are my recent games. You can, for instance, like see this ACC gameplay, and there you have it, which deck I was playing, which deck he was playing, some stats, but like it's not much for now. So this feature would be probably upgraded soon, but for now I'd recommend use mostly like player search, card search, and top decks to actually search for something useful for you. If you enjoy this type of content, please like, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys next time. Peace.